Drug design is the inventive process of finding new medications. It is the process by which we analyze how drugs interact with proteins, DNA, RNA, and nucleic acids in our body, which make them most beneficial to our health. Drug design is indeed a growing industry in South Africa and around the world. Today on 48 Hours, we look at the career of a drug designer with a specific focus on pharmaceutical drugs and herbal medicines. 48 Hours, own your future. Caitlyn is a lovely lass from the south of Johannesburg who loves to help people. She wants to become a drug designer so that she can find cures for chronic illnesses like diabetes and even cancer. Let's get to know more about her.
My name is Caitlyn Green. I'm in grade 8 this year, going on to grade 9. I do life orientation, English, natural science, technology, social science, maths, Afrikaans, and creative arts. Natural science I just love because it has to do with the human body, and I just love learning about the human body and about nature and about life itself. I love playing soccer, I love playing netball, I love doing anything to do with nature. I developed this love for drug designing because my dad actually helped me. He was going through the newspapers one day, and he's like, you know what? You actually love helping people, so why don't you go into the medical industry? And I was like, it's not actually a bad idea because I actually want to be a doctor, a paramedic doctor, and I actually want to create something that can help people. I actually was reading an article one day about Edward Jenner. He created a vaccine for the disease smallpox, and what amazed me of him was he actually just jumped into it, and he actually took that risk of testing it out on a small boy who had cowpox. And this boy was just so willing to do it because anyway he was dying from the disease. This small boy actually found out, you know what, I'm actually getting better and I don't have cowpox anymore. So they decided to name the disease smallpox. And that just for me inspires me because a lot of people just need to go out and just take that risk and make something that's actually going to help people. What inspires me is actually my family, especially my mother and my father, because my mother is a person that just keeps on going. She will go out into rural areas and she will feed people. And when someone needs fundraising for an event, and she will raise funds and see little bits of things in the house that we don't really need, she will go out and then she'll sell them. It just inspires me and motivates me to do better and to be a better person. So today on 48 Hours, I would love to learn about the process of drug designing. So I just want to know if this career can, go forward or can take me forward into life. To be honest, I actually see myself as the next Edward Jenner. I just want to go and, create something that can help one of my loved ones.
Well, let's not waste any time then. 48 Hours arranged for Caitlyn to meet Eugene Olivier, Professor of Pharmacology at University of Pretoria, to find out more about drug design. Eugene believes that each of his students has the untapped potential to create healthy living for everyone. Caitlyn is super excited to meet him and dives right in with her questions.
Professor Eugene, thank you so much for having me here. I just want to know, what is the work that you guys do here?
Well, at this stage, we're in the Department of Pharmaceutical Sciences, so our main function is to actually train pharmacists for the future. The interesting part about it is actually the research component, and that's where my specialty field comes in, and that's for product development. I like making new products, seeing if we can find better ways to help patients and to improve their quality of life.
How does drug designing fit into all of this?
That's part of the research, but it's also part of the undergraduate studies. So in the undergraduate studies, we would teach the students the basics of drug design, such as where you get the drugs from, how you're going to focus on a specific drug, and then take a look at the conditions that you want to treat and the focus area that you want to go on.
Why did you choose this as a career?
Personally, for me, I feel that your life only is worth something if you can make a difference in somebody else's life. And for me, that's the biggest and most important thing. I want to improve the quality of life for people around me.
What interests you and what excites you about drug designing?
Well, the interesting part is that the sky is the limit. You never know what's going to be next. You never know what's going to be the next project. Sometimes somebody comes in and they ask you, I've got this concept or I've got that idea. Or you are reading about something and you see, maybe I can use this and do something like that with it. And I think the exciting thing is that, what do they call it, that eureka moment, that, okay, this actually is working. So, and especially if you get to the point where the product actually gets into the patients and you can get the feedback and you see that your product is making a difference in their lives. I thought Caitlyn was a very bright and committed young lady, and I liked the determination that I saw in her, and the curiosity was for me absolutely incredible, because somebody that has got a curious mind and is willing to work, you can go lots of places with somebody like that.
What subjects should I specifically take in order to get into this industry?
You have to have chemistry, math, physics. Otherwise, there's no way that you're going to be able to survive in anything even related to this career.
At university level, what course should I study?
My personal opinion, become a pharmacist. But then again, I'm highly biased because I am a pharmacist. So, but there's a lot of different options that you can go and take a look at. You can go and take a look at chemistry, you can look at analytical chemistry, you can look at something like chemical engineering. That type of thing would be the one to give you the basic background.
What is the day-to-day life of a pharmacist?
That depends on where you want to work. Now, the good thing about studying for a pharmacist is you are trained as a generalist. In other words, you can go and decide where you want to work. So a couple of places, and one of them where a lot of pharmacists actually end up would be in a retail pharmacy or hospital pharmacy. And this is where they would process the prescriptions, prepare the medicine, compound the product. And if you are in that field, you would basically be dealing with the patients day to day and with their medication. But you need to have the background, because you need to be able to know about the medicine, how it works, what the problems that you can pick up with it is, so that you can guide the patients to use the product correctly. But that's now only that one aspect. You can also go into manufacturing. If you're going to manufacturing, you're going to be spending your day doing actual manufacturing and supervising people and watching people that as they are working and assisting you with manufacturing the product. And there you've got different dosage forms. You're going to have to make creams, you're going to have to make tablets, you're going to have to make injections, you're going to have to make a lot of different dosage forms. You can go into clinical research. And the clinical research is actually where you would be taking the product and administering it to the patient. Now you have to monitor the patient. Then you can go into academia, which is where I am now, where you actually combine the best of all of these.
So which category does drug designing fit into?
The drug design is basically in two different places. First of all, it's mainly in the industry, because in South Africa we haven't got such a lot of new drug design, but it is definitely there. And then of course definitely into academia.
What other avenues can I branch off into? You
can go into, name it, business would be one of them. There are people that go into advertising. There are people that go into research and doing their own research for themselves and start their own things, making new cosmetic lines and products, and then they come up with and they design a whole new set of cosmetic products and go into cosmetology and cosmetic products and sell those. The opportunities are definitely there, and the sky's the limit.
So thank you so much for answering my questions. So can you give me some work experience now?
I think I want to put you on a little bit of a research project, but we're going to have to start with a research component. At the end of the day, I want us to make some tablets today. Okay? A new product for us.
Let's do this.
For me, like, he simplified the answers. He wasn't like on such a high level that I didn't understand. He actually like simplified an answer for me to like my level of understanding. So he actually answered most of my questions about drug designing. So that was just brilliant.
Coming up after the break, Eugene gives Caitlyn some hands-on experience as a drug designer, which involves lots of research. Then he hands her over to his colleague Madan so she can put her research into practice and make her very own tablets. Welcome back. Before the break, we met Caitlyn, who wants to save the world from disease by making her own supplements. We introduced her to Professor of Pharmacology, Eugene, who gave her the ins and outs of working as a drug designer. Let's catch up with them.
Caitlyn, so welcome to our computer lab. We're here to go and check on the basic research and to see what has already been done. Remember, we're working on the aloe plant, and we're working specifically with aloe ferox because you do get different species.
Yes.
And we want to take this tablet. It's been traditionally used as a laxative, and we're going to take that extract that you already prepared. We're going to dry it, and now we want to go and take a look at how we're going to put it into a product for somebody to go use. Okay, so for now, get into that memory stick, and let's see if we can start figuring out how we're going to make this tablet. Okay, go.
Caitlyn and Eugene dig deep to discover all the ingredients they need to use in a recipe to design an aloe tablet. Aloe is known the world over for its healing properties, including detoxifying, anti-inflammatory, antibacterial, antiviral, and anti-parasitic qualities. To make sure this tablet retains these benefits after the manufacturing process, Eugene and Caitlyn have to make sure their research finds the right ingredients to retain these powerful qualities in their aloe tablet.
We got along very nicely. The work experience was very, very nice. We worked nicely together, and she was open and very receptive, so it was easy to learn, or to teach her at least, and she was very willing to learn, look at things, investigate, and when necessary, she asked the correct questions. So, very positive. Oh, and the other thing which is critical, to be able to do this type of work and research, you must be able to calculate. If you can't calculate, you're going to kill somebody. Somewhere something is wrong. Yeah, we're 3 milligram out. 397, so now we've got to find the mistake. So let's start again. Let me try and see if I can help you.
Caitlyn wants to save lives, not end them, so she gets Eugene to double-check her calculations before manufacturing her tablets. But it seems her nails got in the way.
I think it's probably the nails. Don't worry about that. Okay. Today, I think probably for the show, she had quite long nails, and as she was typing on the keyboard, she made a couple of mistakes. But at the end of the day, I have to admit, she knew what she was doing. So according to me, she can do it.
That research actually was very interesting, although it was a bit complicated for me at this age because there was a lot of numbers involved and a lot of words that I've never seen before. Not even big words, it's just so small and you don't even know what it is. Other than Eugene, I actually got a lot of my answers from the research.
It means our calculations are correct. Are we ready?
Yes.
Let's go make some tablets. Okay, I think you can kill this guy.
Eugene hands Caitlyn over to his colleague Madan, who shows her how drugs are manufactured in a lab.
The task that I decided to give Caitlyn is, it's not very nice if you're just working on something that's theoretical. I wanted to take her from something that you can take the theory, put it into practice, and so that you end up with something physical, so that you can make the theoretical background real, so that you can see what is actually going to go to the patient. And I thought it would be satisfying for her as well.
Caitlyn takes her shopping list of ingredients and collects supplies from the storeroom. She measures each ingredient carefully and accurately. Then she combines these ingredients and mixes them to a perfect powdery consistency.
So the task was very nice, I must be honest, but the work that was put into it and the effort was like, you need to just keep pushing.
Now it's time for Caitlyn to see the fruits of her labor. She gets to turn this recipe into actual tablets. Before they hit the supermarket shelves, these tablets need to be quality assured. For the quality control test, Caitlyn has to weigh each tablet and make sure they're not chipped.
Caitlyn, you have done a wonderful job today through the whole task, right from the step 1, identifying excipients, weighing them. Yes, there was here and there a few mistakes, but I understand the nervousness and being first time, not knowing the procedures. However, at the end, you have done tablets of good quality, which we did confirm through the quality control test.
I'm like 15 years old and I already made my own tablets. Like, that's just mind-blowing. I learned a lot today with the research and the actual process of making the tablets. So with no doubt about it, drug designing is for me.
Coming up after the break, Caitlyn meets entrepreneur Dee, who's the owner and founder of Herbology. She uses plants as medication to treat a plethora of illnesses. Welcome back. Before the break, we met Caitlyn, who wants to be a drug designer. We introduced her to pharmacologist and Professor Eugene from University of Pretoria, who showed her the ins and outs of the industry. After teaming her up with his esteemed colleague Madan, she learned the old-fashioned way of manufacturing drugs in a lab. Now we're ready for her to meet entrepreneur Dee from Herbology, who's going to show her how to run her own business with the aim of using natural products to aid healing and recovery from illnesses. First, we want to find out from Caitlyn how she felt about her first day on the job.
I've had an amazing first day on 48 hours, and just when I thought it couldn't get any better, 48 hours hooked me up with the real go-getter. Today I'm going to meet Dee Stevens. She runs a company called Herbology South Africa. I'm going to pitch my labor of love to her, and I really hope she likes it. Come with me.
48 hours went behind the scenes to give our candidate the lowdown on who she's about to meet. Let's hope this helps her with her pitch.
My name is Dee Stevens. I am a master herbalist, a master blender, as well as a master herbologist. I am a free-loving individual. I love walking around barefoot, and I love flowers and trees and plants. I speak plant fluently. And I have built a business called Herbology, which is based on those very ethoses. I got involved in this industry about 15 years ago when my father was diagnosed with skin cancer. And back then, it was very difficult for us because we didn't have access to the herbal medication that we have access to today. My father was doing chemotherapy, he was doing radiation, but the excruciating pain and the damage it was doing, the after effects were just too much for us to control. So I started embarking on a herbal route, trying to find anything that would ease the pain, give him some sort of comfort that we could during those times. And from there, it just exploded. It just exploded because there were so many herbs that I found that could heal. There were so many of them. For all my life, I've been looking for natural alternatives. I've always been into herbal teas and any sort of herbal concoction you can bring me, I'm game. So it comes naturally to me. Managing my time and managing my processes, those are my challenges. So there's so much to do and there's so little me to go around that managing the processes is often where I come unstuck. It also helps that it's a family-run business and my eldest son as well as my husband both work in the business with me. I draw my inspiration from the cold face of the healing centre that we operate. I draw it from my customers and my patients. They're the ones that inspire me because every single day, no matter what we've made in the business in terms of profit, we've healed someone and that's all we need. The job satisfaction is through the roof. It's amazing. I sleep like a king every night. And it's not because the business is successful, it's because somebody got healed. Hi, Caitlyn. Lovely to finally meet you. Welcome.
First of all, thank you, Dee, for having me here today.
Pleasure.
So I just want to find out what motivated you to start this business.
So primarily what guided me to start my own business was not only was there a severe lack of these type of products available to the market, but also there was a sincere barrier to entry to do specifically what I do. So anyone can be a herbalist and anyone can be a herbologist, but those two things on their own won't create what a business requires.
What did you think you could add to the industry when you started your own company?
So I knew that I was going to add value to the industry because there isn't very much available for natural alternatives. And natural alternatives to all the pharmaceutical medicine that is available. And I'm not saying there's no place for pharmaceutical, there definitely is, but not on a long-term scale. And I supply medication that replaces pharmaceutical if you're looking for natural alternatives.
So did you have any fears or reservations when you started your own business?
I think my biggest fear going into the market was, what if people aren't responsive to what I'm doing? And what if people don't see the value in what it is that I'm doing? It's one thing picking your target audience, and it's one thing picking a product, it's one thing creating something, but you've got to have someone who's going to buy it.
Any advice for me as an upcoming entrepreneur?
Learn, and learn some more. You can never know enough about your topic of passion and the subject that you're wanting to build your business on. Because every little thing that you learn that's new is going to take your business to the next level.
First of all, thank you, Dee, for all this information that you have shared with me. But I specifically have my own idea that I would love to pitch to you.
Can't wait. I found Caitlyn very open and eager to learn, which was very refreshing.
I certainly know that you are more of a natural herbalist and you believe more in natural remedies more than Western medicine. So Dee, unfortunately, I've had a lot of loved ones that have passed away from cancer. So basically, my idea is to create a drug-based herb. This will be helping cancer patients reduce with the side effects and symptoms of radiotherapy and chemotherapy.
So my idea was just to pitch to a more or less the idea that I wanted to create a herbal medication for cancer patients.
So some of the natural ingredients that I've chosen to use today is ginseng. First of all, ginseng helps reduce the development of tumors. Also, black cohosh. Black cohosh helps with the side effects of chemo. Also, turmeric. Turmeric helps with the pain and inflammation, and it boosts the immune system. Also, echinacea. Echinacea also lessens the side effects of radiotherapy and chemotherapy.
Wow. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
I'm very impressed. And I think that you're onto something. There's a lot more we can add to that to make the magic concoction. So I think that as soon as you're done with your schooling, you best come to Herbology and come and talk to us.
Oh, thank you.
I think that her idea has legs. I think that there's a need in the industry for a medicine of that sort. There are many, not quite like hers, and I think she's onto something.
My value proposition for you is as follows. So if you help me develop my treatment, you will get a stake in my business. And I, in return, will get an opportunity to learn from you as a master herbalist. Thank you.
Deal.
Dee actually took it very, very well than I expected. For me, that was just so amazing.
Caitlyn, it's been wonderful having you here with us today.
Thank you so much.
I hope that you've learned a lot, and I hope that we've inspired you to continue on your journey,
Definitely.
finding natural solutions.
I would love to thank Dr. Eugene for sharing all that information with me and the experience that he's given me. And to Dee, thank you for everything that you have showed me and made me learn more about this herbal side of medication. And thank you so much to 48 Hours. This really is a job that I'm going to take. Thank you very much.
If you want to be part of the 48-hour experience, contact us on our social media page. If you're interested in more careers, make sure to go to our YouTube page and get inspired.
Caitlyn, I have a message for you. Don't ever stop trying to do your own thing. Don't stop investigating herbs and don't stop trying to find solutions, because there are solutions. If you continue to forge along your path, I promise you, you can be where I am a lot quicker than I am.